Hey everybody, how's our sound going? Great to see everyone here early. We're a few seconds early now. I've got to find my little click forward box. There we go, 7:30 on the dot. How cool is that? We are right to go. Guard dogs have decided to attack somebody in the backyard. Okay, let's get moving right along. Here we are, Gold Monday, 17th of the 8th, 2020. And yep, gold is up there. And it's been followed by silver. And we have some amazing figures coming out of the sales platforms all over the world. It was good to see. On the weekend, I produced a slide where I took a snippet off a website in the US. I'd seen it on a number of them recently, and it said that given the volume being purchased, their shipments would be delayed. So it's quite interesting that we're not the only people suffering through that. But the world is an ever-changing place, so let's get right in amongst this. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to see everyone on the phone. Oh, look, we've got someone joining called Owner's iPhone. Fantastic. Okay, here we are. We do need to let you know that this is our opinion only. We do not represent the company Karatbars International, and we do not give financial advice. What we're trying to explain to you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is information we've found. We've created systems that work. Karatbars has been good at giving us tools. The manual is somewhat a little vague sometimes. So here we go. Let's start off with Miss Camilla, followed up by a new little piece that I've added on the end of it. And tell me what you think.
Hi there. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are in this beautiful world of ours. We, the team at Gold Rocks, are here to show you how to become a gold saver, which has far better return than traditional savings methods. Let us show you why you should get started today. When you begin saving, you typically have a goal in mind, whether it be buying a house, paying off debt, starting a business, saving for studies, travel, or maybe retirement. We've always been told to work hard and save money. The majority of us have only had the following options: maybe holding your cash in an envelope or piggy bank, opening a cash savings account to earn interest, or apply for a loan, but that means debt, and that's something none of us want to get into. Unfortunately, many people don't understand what saving money in the traditional method really means. Cash loses an average of 2% per year through inflation. That means that if you saved $100 today, it would have the buying power of $90 in 5 years' time. So then what if you put it into a savings account? The average interest rate across the banking system in Australia and New Zealand is now less than 1% per year. So that $100 would have the buying power of less than $95 in 5 years' time. A little better than the cash in an envelope, but you are definitely losing money. Question: what do they do that you don't do yet? Governments, wealthy, and banks, what do they do? Simple. They save gold. Robert Kiyosaki, who we all know as the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Cash Flow Quadrant, says gold is God's money. JP Morgan, one of the most powerful bankers of his era, whose company JP Morgan Chase still exists today, said gold is money and everything else is credit. And Alan Greenspan, the former head of the Federal Reserve, arguably the most powerful financial institution in the world, says gold is always accepted. And they are just a few examples amongst many others. So why gold? Gold gains an average of 20% per year. So what if you put $100 into gold? In 5 years' time, it would be worth at least $200. Would you rather $95 from your traditional savings account or $200 from your gold savings account? As the value of cash falls, gold rises. Why choose our gold? And why save with us? Our gold savings account is free to open and has no monthly fees. Our source is the global leader of small increment weights from 0.1 of a gram. And at the time of recording this, 0.1 of a gram was about $10 to $11 Australian. This makes gold accessible to all levels of income. No matter who you are, what you earn, you can now do what was once only available to those with wealth. And helping all people get ahead is something our team at Gold Rocks is passionate about. Our gold is 999.9 gold bullion purity. It has state-of-the-art security against counterfeiting, and our source provides free storage until you choose to have your gold delivered to you. Getting started is as easy as getting back to the person who shared this video with you, registering your free gold savings account, and starting to save your money in gold today. We encourage you to do your own research into all the information we have shown you, and we look forward to helping you save your future in gold with the team at Gold Rocks. Be blessed.
Gold is what we're talking about. And this picture was taken, I think, slightly over 3 weeks ago, and you can see the stack of dollar bills on the left that will buy the gold coin. And that's the gold coin we're talking about. In 1933, it was $20.67. And that picture on the left is miserably out of date because today it's $1,979. Now, you tell me how there's any business in the world that operates like that. That's just unbelievable growth. But when we go through some more slides, you'll understand a little bit about why people are clambering for gold at the moment. So what you need to do is become a gold earner, because if you're getting paid in gold, you're taking advantage of all of those price increases without the cost of that gold. So gold is a store of value. And if you look at every one of these currencies on this screen, that's where our fiat money ends up, in the dumpster. There is no fiat currency in the world that has survived the conversion away from the gold standard. Not one anywhere in the world. There's been a whole lot of currencies come and go. Gold has survived. So here's how you can earn gold. The savings options, classic gold, it's our legacy gold. It's long-term, 1, 2.5 or 5. It's completely free storage, and there's 3% discount. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot stress enough, you need to be saving gold. So you can also do cash gold. It's our digital gold. It's similar to fiat, but it's gold. It's transferable between Carat Pay accounts, and you can swap it into the new V999 coin and spend it, just like cash. Simply save some gold yourself and share that with a number of people, and you all of a sudden get hooked up with the loyalty bonus. And you can get up to 25 grams of classic gold per month. The moment that'll be over $3,000 a month of gold, free gold, kicked in because you've done something and spoken to some people. Now, next one. If you've got a bunch of people and they're buying gold, you get kicked into the uni-level bonus structure. So the uni-level bonus is calculated specifically off the classic gold that goes through your team. That's it. Really simple way to talk about it. I've heard people tell me that Carat Bars has got complicated. It did for a while. It's really, really settling out to the original business. We got gold, baby. Don't worry about anything else. Focus on the gold. And the third thing is, if you've got people buying gold, you're going to end up in the long-term bonus. And it doesn't matter what you do. If they just keep buying gold, sooner or later, you're going to hit every one of those levels, every single one of them. And there's people in our teams doing this now. So make sure that you understand that there are ways that you can earn money, lots of ways, just by sharing the gold business. So what other company has a referral plan that compensates you in gold bullion? And as we go through this, you're going to understand why that's so very, very important. So make sure you're saving at least 1 gram a month. Make sure you share the value of the gold with others and teach them how to start saving in gold. That's it. That's all you've got to do. It's as simple as that. So what's next? Set up a free account as a customer or as an affiliate. Now, if you're on this call wondering how to do that, I suggest you go to the goldrocks.me website, register as a member there. It will give you a link that you can remember. It's really difficult to remember when you're trying to tell someone how to go to your website and register. Get a Gold Rocks link, really easy. If you're a customer, you pay for gold at the full price. If you're an affiliate, you get a cheaper price, opens up other income streams. There's a lot more products available, and you can trade gold and crypto if you choose to. Now, all of that on the affiliate side brings me to the wealth principles that we've come to understand and believe in. Number 1 is pay yourself first. Number 2 is establish a residual income. Number 3, limit your tax exposure. And number 4, stay ahead of inflation. If you can do those 4 things, and this business gives you the tools to do that, if you can do those 4 things, you will be successful in your life. Make sure that you give it a good shot. Is this what we're all working towards? This is what I'm looking for. I don't care what anyone else is doing it for. This is what I'm doing it for. You might need some help to hit that target. So when you go out hunting, you could use a shooting stick. Now that's okay, except used this way, it sways side to side. And you might get close to the target, but you might never hit it. So let's think about what happens when you spread it out into a tripod. When you do that, it becomes rock solid. And I'm going to say it becomes gold rock solid. That gives you an edge in getting an accurate view of the target. Now, it works just like this. When you set up the tripod and make it stable, the first leg is physical gold. The second leg is digital gold. And the third leg, well, that's our trading platform. Those are the 3 platforms that actually create your wealth. Now, make sure that you understand the 2 key components in our business today: physical gold and digital gold. And the trading platform can link them all together and generate cash flow for you. This is the result. When you use all 3 of them to generate a stable platform, you can hunt for your freedom diligently and aim carefully. That's what we need to do, ladies and gentlemen. Work out what exactly it is we're trying to do. Come back to these 3 basic building blocks and go for it. There we go. What did everyone think about that little put together video that we've come up with? We're trying to add in the new direction that we've come up with. We're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. Thanks, Wal. I think it's giving everyone a very, very clear picture of what we're doing. And we're going to explain a little bit more about our trading platform and what that's about tonight. Thanks, Janet. Thanks, Roger. And we'll get that up onto, we might tweak it a little bit. There's a couple of things I just noticed there as we're going through. We'll get that up on the website so that, actually, I think Miss Camilla has put it up on the Facebook page already. So she's onto that. We'll come up with a slightly updated version as time goes on. So, is there any other business that pays you in gold bullion? That's what we're about. The fact that last year I got a bunch of free gold. A few years ago, I wouldn't have thought much of that. I thought it was a nice, quaint little payment process that would have got me interested. But now I'm seeing what's happening to the price of gold. And I'm seeing what's happening in the world around us. I don't know that we've ever been in more unstable times. And the more unstable it gets, the more stable the price of gold is. I love the fact that we're in the gold business. And remember, this is our tagline. Everyone goes forward together. We're not leaving anybody behind. Make sure that you understand what we can do for you. We're bringing into play some new directions in the coming weeks, and we're about to talk about that right now. So let's talk about the roadmap. Mr. Dobson, are you there, sir?
I certainly am, Mr. Miller. How are you, sir?
Excellent. That's very, very good. So I'm going to run through this next slide just so that we understand a little bit about what we're talking about. We've got three legs in the business: the digital gold, the physical gold, and the trading platform. But what we're looking at is a wallet that ties into the trading platform. So we're not just exposed to one option. We've got 4 options at the moment we're working with. We're creating more as time goes on. What we're looking to achieve is a platform that delivers residual income with the assets that we all hold currently. That's what we're about tonight. So do you want to have a comment on that, Mr. Dobson?
Yes, firstly, I love the tripod setup. You know, the concept with carrot bars has always been about saving in gold. The digital gold is a new era for me and for a lot of people on the team. And I know we've had some conversations very recently about the trading platforms, and probably getting to know a little bit more about this area, the blockchain and crypto area, but also how we can expand it so that there's some income for the team. So our whole goal in Gold Rocks is to create some income for everyone. I've always said income generating assets, and I'm going to talk about that in a little minute. But yeah, mate, that's all I wanted to touch on just there.
Very good. Yes, we are absolutely committed to making sure that everyone has the opportunity to create income from the assets they currently hold. We have to go down that road because that's what we all signed up for, a residual income, something to get us out of the rat race. And we now have some options there that we're plugging into and testing right now. As time goes on, we'll have more and more news about it, and we'll be able to start to talk to people about how that's going to deliver for us. Now, before we get into that, I just wanted to remind everybody that if you're watching your Carrotbit wallet and you're seeing the price, the value go down, don't panic, Jonesy. Imagine if you had just bought a brand new smartphone yesterday and it cost $1,000. What if today the company called you up and said, sorry about that, we can't use that operating system anymore. That $1,000 smartphone you've got is no longer a smartphone, it's not even a phone. So you're going to have to put it in a drawer for a while. It's not worth anything until we fix it. I wouldn't be very happy about that. I know most of us wouldn't be. But in a month's time, if they called you back up and said, hey, we've uploaded a new operating system, we've thrown in a whole heap of extras that we know you'll like, it'll be downloaded onto your phone in the next 30 days, and as soon as it's turned on, you're up and running, and now it's worth $1,000 again. That's the sort of thing we're talking about with KBC at the moment, because it's transitioning onto a new blockchain, onto a new coin. I think at the end of the day, we're all going to end up happy. We've just had to deal with not having a whole lot of information and having no one we could ask about what was going on. So here we are. The trading outcomes are designed to give you crypto assets that you can convert into cash. That's what we're about, giving you cash flow that you can use to pay bills without selling off your assets. That's the main thing. So let's have a look at some numbers. What do you get for registering a member? Well, let's decide that they're going to join as a silver. That's about €5.95 entry point. They get a 10% discount. They get 6 months qualification for the matching bonus, 1.5 grams of gold, and €50 per cycle. All in all, that's a really nice package. That's where I like to start people if they can. You, as the seller of that package, receive €59.5. Even if they've got a 10% discount, you still get the $59.50. 0.4 grams of cash gold and 10 units in that leg. Now, let's think about that. If you registered 2 people in a week, that's €119. That's not bad. And what if you set out in week 2 to help those 2 people register too? Well, if you did that 10 weeks in a row, that's €12,200.
Mr. Miller?
Yes, sir. It's your turn.
Just while we're on this slide, I just wanted to go into why we've put this up and why now. Basically, you've just shown us a slide, and I know I gave you some of this information. It was inspired to me by the Wealth Builders a month or 2 ago. But I think the issue at the moment is that we have so much. There's so much in the packages. The 2 loyalty programs that you just showed in that brilliant video you put together. The 3 levels, direct commissions, the uni levels, the crypto coins. There's a couple of those. The trading platforms, the phones, the laptops, the CEN. Dual team payouts, 4 levels of business status. Carrot bit, carrot pay, carrot bars. There's a lot. So first of all, we've broken this down to show you how powerful this comp plan is in just one of all those levels, and that's all payment programs, and that's the dual team payouts. And this is something that I'm going to encourage everyone starts to do once we are clear on the roadmap ahead. Now, I'll tell you now, I'm not 100% impressed on some of the rollouts with the latest information. Roger and I have a meeting with Tammy this week, and we're going to talk about the time frame on the V999, when this trading platform is rolling out, the payment portal, when that's going to be released to everyone so they got their emails. But this is a company I've been with for 3 years. I love it. I've seen some people make this type of money that you see on your screen in 1 week already just in my team. So I know it's possible, but basically this is simplifying everything that Carrot Bars is about. And it's just buying a business pack. All right, now we've picked the number 4 pack, $5.95. We know with the 10% discount, that's $545. Gives you that silver status. That means you're going to get €50 per cycle. For anyone that's new, just please get back to someone that knows this a little bit better. They'll explain that to you. So simply by registering 2 people in your first week, you're going to end up with that €119. You see the top of you get that in your 10% direct commissions. And that's about the only time I'm going to talk about 10% direct commissions in this 10-week sprint, if you like, because your second week you're going to have 4. I know that it's double that by two getting 2, and obviously those stats never work. You write something down. We're dealing with people. People. We're all different. Never works out. But this is how simple it can be. And like I said, I've seen this done in 10 weeks in my team. So the second week you get nothing, all right, because we're only talking about the dual team payout. And in the direct commissions, you will get some money out of that. Remember, this is also in euros, and so it's nearly double, I think, depending on what the Australian dollars. Your third week, you have 8, and that's €50. Your fourth week, it's 16, it's around 200. 32 is 400. 64, week 6. Week 7 is 128. Week 8's 254 is the amount of people. At 254, you're looking at about €3,000, and this is week 8, right? €3,000 for the week. Week 9, you're looking at over 6,000, and then that doubles to over 12,000. So this is possible. what we're saying is, once we're clear on the roadmap, and we will break this down, particularly the trading platforms, a little bit more in the coming weeks. But as soon as we're happy that everyone's got their payment cards and they're getting their commissions on their cards, as soon as I know, Derek, you're as excited as I am about the V999 and what the possibilities are for that. And we're just waiting now to find out when we can start using our cash gold to buy that and how that's going to work. And of course, the trading platforms within Carrot Bars. And I know myself, I want to test them out. And I'm the type of person I learn by doing. So I just wanted to throw that. I know it's a bit long-winded, Derek, but I just wanted to go into the simplicity, breaking this down, and how we're going to have a push as soon as we're clear on those other areas for this coming into the back end of the year, because I think it's exciting times ahead for us all. But we need to know where we're going. Just like on the weekend, I'll let Amanda sit in the passenger seat in the front and say, okay, take me to this new place at Stanthorpe, make sure it's the winery I want. And I had to trust that she knew what she was doing. And, at times, that's what we've got to do in business, haven't we? So, mate, just to break that down, I just wanted to throw that in. That's one simple payment system in a very complex payment program.
Absolutely. It is just the basics of it, and I know that I've seen it work myself. It's a way to actually get in and do the numbers. It's a simple plan if you just focus on that part of it, and away you go. That's a really great outcome for a €595 entry point for the new person. So what else would you want to do? I mean, this is a great business. We've got the possibility of everything that's happening with gold. We've got the V999 coin coming. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline. We've asked for examples of the V999 contracts so we can certify to people that, yes, we've seen the contracts. We know the smart contracts will work. We know that there's a way to get paid from the residual. So let's move right along. Now, Ms. Phillips, are you there to go through this again? Tell us about the new wallet.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Fantastic. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Yes, pretty exciting, particularly when we can use what we have and generate money very soon. So it's countdown. Let's look at the wallet. This is how you actually receive those payments that Derek and Brenda have been talking about. And this is how you'll do it. You'll actually receive an email. This is what it will look like. And some people think it looks a bit dodgy. And the first time I looked at it, activation instructions for your prepaid card 235 from Card Services. I'd never heard of Card Services, but it certainly, once you open, it is okay to click on this. And if you have deleted this email, then dig it back out. If you have not received it, then check into your trash and your spam folders.
And there are a lot of people that haven't received the email yet, but they're coming from the office.
Excellent. So then once you've clicked and opened into the email, this is actually what it looks like. Lots of different languages. Obviously, I'm into English. Card Portal is the new company. Hi, Carolyn, your MasterCard virtual card is ready. Then there's an access code. So this is sliding down into the email, into the body of the email, getting started. My access code was 790580. I wrote that down because you will need it later. As you slide down the email, it tells you the instructions. Click Activate Account. There will be an Activate Account button. And then you log in using your email address, obviously where you've received this email to, and that access code. Confirm your card details and activate your account. And you can actually request a plastic card because there's a convert to plastic button. Okay. So all of that is doable. Sliding down the email, here's the Activate Account button. You actually click on that. This is when it takes you into a new tab. So it goes from the email into a new tab. This is what it looks like. Email, access code. This is the fields where you fill in. That access code is the 790580. I'm not a robot, and log in. So here, this is the next page, but it is asking you for the code. It's a one-time code, and it is sent to your email. So then you go back to your email, and it says 2FA card portal one-time security code. And at this particular point, it's 485251. I didn't even open the email, and I knew what the code was. So then this is the second email you will have received. So then 485251 goes into that field, and click verify. So here I've actually kept my old code, 790580, but you can choose another 6-digit code. New access code and then confirm access code. I use the original one. You fill in all the fields, obviously about your driver's license and your address and so on. And you get to the bottom, I have read and agreed to the cardholder terms and conditions, and click activate. So this then comes up, current PIN. You'll see there on the right, card balance 20 USD and secondary balance 0. Note down your PIN. And this is where you get to request a physical card. When will the Carrot Bars version of the card be available to order for €6? My understanding is that that's the button there. You actually click on it there. I haven't ordered one, Stephen, but that button is right there, request a card. Here are the limits. Click on, this is the menu, and when you click on the limits menu here, it actually takes you through to where you put your KYCs, your customer documents. So from limits, current KYC limits, and click validate account. Did it all okay, but there was an error getting the plastic card on Friday. Okay, Harry, do you know what the error was? Okay.
And Stephen, we're not sure how long it'll take for the Carrot Bars branded card to be available. Just said error.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Harry. Okay. Can you click the next one? Next slide, please, Derek. Keep going. Validate your account. Obviously, you click on next. It does say there allow 2 to 3 business days for your KYCs. I've actually been, it's been a week for me. Upload your license and proof of address.
And Brad's saying the card is not €6, which is what they publish. So no, now it's a US dollar card, etc. I think it's $16 or something like that, Brad.
So there on, can you go back please, Derek? It says important. Your proof of address must have been issued within the last 3 months and have your full name, date and address clearly visible. Mobile phone bills will not be accepted. Please ensure all 4 corners of the document are clearly visible. So when I rang the company recently to ask why a particular document had been unapproved or disproved or not accepted, they're saying because they're a global company and they need a set standard around the world. So there are certain documents that are accepted and certain documents that are not accepted. So please follow what they've asked of you. Even if you go to the bank and get, there's a bank credit card statement, a bank statement, go to the bank, get it stamped. They will print it out, they will stamp it, they will sign it, and then take a photo of that. So if all else fails, then do that, because that's what they've asked for. And then obviously it's going to be within the last 3 months because it's dated on the day you walk in. Upload it and then click finish. Some people are having a lot of difficulty because most of their bills are actually delivered by email. So again, best way is walk into the bank, ask them to print out a bank statement. Doesn't matter how much is in your bank account, it's the proof of address that they're looking for. So it's got your name and your bank details, obviously, and your address is there. If you've changed address or haven't updated an address with the bank, or you have a post box number or something's a bit different, get the bank to change your address to whatever matches here, and then get them to print it out and then change it back, whatever it is for your convenience. But just so you know, follow their instructions as best you can.
And if you're getting the bank to print out a statement, get them to stamp it and sign it. If they won't sign it, that's fine. Take it away with a stamp on it and scribble your name on it later in really illegible. Put my name on it really illegibly, and no one will know what you've got. And can't walk into a bank. Oh, Steve, you're in Manila. Yes, we'll have to think about how to get around that. You can use an online statement as long as you print it out, fold it up, wrinkle it around, and it's got the right address on it. And then you can take a photo of it and make it look like it came through the mail.
All four corners of the piece of paper into the photo. But then I went back in, and you go to cardportal.com and log in. Your email and access code. And that's obviously, for me, that's my original one because I didn't change it, or whatever you've updated your access code to. I'm not a robot, and log in. There's even a forgot access code link there if you have forgotten it. So there's ways to update this and get it all together again. On-time code comes into your email, so flip back into your email, enter the security code. Do it reasonably quickly because there is a time stamp on it, or a time limitation on it. Click here to check your KYC progress, my prepaid account. Obviously there's 20 USDs, and there's a tiny link over there on the right, my proof of ID. When I clicked on that, then it showed me this page. At the top of the page it says Intercash card upgrade, how and why to upgrade your card. So you'll see there on the left, $2,500. That's the amount you can deposit onto this card if you then want to add from anything that Karatbars has paid you. And then if you want to upgrade to $20,000 as an amount that you can deposit, then obviously you need to go through the upgrade card limit process. Okay. Sliding down, this is where your proof of identity has been submitted, and then proof of address has been submitted. And that's it. Now let's look at the sponsors. Easy Shopping Cards has been a wonderful sponsor of Gold Rocks, and a lot of you have been on our journey for a number of years. Easy Shopping Cards has been there all the way. This is a way to be paid in gold from their rewards program. JS Urban, Home Choice, Skippy, Pest Control, and Love That Vehicle Lubricants will all pay you their rewards program in cash gold. So support these companies where you can. They're really top notch.
Thank you, Carolyn. Okay, Stephen, we'll maybe set up a three-way call, make sure Roger's got everything in order, and if you need to, we'll give you a hand with whatever we can. Okay, let's look at some numbers. What's happening in China? Now, someone asked me the other day about did I not understand what the Communist Party was doing, etc., etc.? Yeah, I've known all that. But this is the first time since World War II that we have had warships in the South China Sea with Australians on them having unscheduled interactions with Chinese warships. Now, when I was in the Army carrying an M60 and we had unscheduled interactions with people in the bush, that generally meant that somebody started shooting. That's not healthy. So yes, I'm very concerned about what's happening in the South China Sea because our boys are at risk. So yeah, I'm focused on it, and you'll see why, and I'll talk about it every week. Do we all know what the Quad is? Here is a process that has come about through what's going on. And the Quad is an alliance between the US, Japan, India, and Australia. And it's aimed at countering and containing authoritarian China. Now, this was taken off a news website. How happy do you think the Chinese Communist Party is that that is published? It's public. This is what this is all about. Now, I'm not sure that there are too many people that can come to terms with how big an impact that's going to be. And I'm about to show you a video that absolutely, if it wasn't so serious, it would be hilarious. It's stupidly funny if you don't grasp the seriousness of the situation. It's really, really bad. China is in a world of hurt, and they're getting backed into a corner. And that's dangerous. Let's have a little listen to this video.
Xi Jinping's reckless decisions have invited an imminent famine knocking on China's doorstep. Now he has launched an Eat Less campaign, and it sounds very much like Maduro's Eat Rabbits call. In a shameful show of authoritarianism, the Chinese Communist Party General Secretary Xi Jinping has decided to go the Mao Zedong way. What to eat and how much to eat, the CCP wants to decide it all for the Chinese people, as Xi Jinping is telling them to eat less and has launched the Clean Plates campaign to curb the leftovers problem. These are ominous signs as China heads towards a major famine situation, possibly triggered by Xi Jinping's decisions in the first place. Xi Jinping's campaign has an uncanny similarity with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's Plan Conejo or Plan Rabbit, wherein the communist leader plans to fight the country's hunger problem. Venezuela, one of the most prosperous of Latin American countries, has been rendered impoverished under the reign of two consecutive radical socialists, Hugo Chavez and Maduro, so much so that Venezuelans are forced to eat rabbits for survival. Reckless authoritarian policies can push a country towards starvation and destitution, and China is no exception. Ravaged by a pandemic of its own making, artificially controlled floods, and reckless trade wars with the US and tariff battles with Australia, all are pushing the Middle Kingdom towards a major catastrophe. Further hit by locusts and swine fever, food prices have shot up drastically in the country. According to a Bloomberg report, CCP General Secretary Xi Jinping wants 1.4 billion Chinese people to clean their plates. Xi Jinping's latest initiative is aimed at controlling the quote-unquote shocking and distressing problem of discarded leftovers. President Xi Jinping even cited a Tang Dynasty poem in order to send across the message, "Know that each grain on your plate comes from the labor of peasants." Food wastage is a major issue in China, and according to a 2015 estimate by the World Wildlife Fund, China wastes 17 to 18 million tons every year that can feed as many as 50 million people. But this is not just a government campaign. Xi Jinping wants to enforce his diktat brutally because he foresees public resentment fueled by a hunger problem in the country. This is why the Chinese legislature, state media, and CCP government-run organizations have started pushing the Clean Plates campaign. The National People's Congress, China's highest lawmaking body, is fast-tracking legislation for strict enforcement of frugal food consumption. Chinese state media outlets too are naming and shaming those who are over-consuming food, and catering associations are coercing eateries to offer smaller portions of food. China has been facing a food shortage risk for the past 1 year. According to South China Morning Post, China was hit by armyworms feeding upon crops that spread over 1 million hectares of farmland. The Chinese food industry was further debilitated by what Beijing described as the African swine fever that led to the rampant culling of pigs in China. Recently, China has been hit by locust swarms. The southwest Chinese province of Yunnan is facing a major locust invasion. Media outlet CGTN reported last month, many farmers have expressed concerns over the incursion expected to last until September. According to official Chinese numbers, the year-on-year food prices have jumped 10% in China, and the cost of pork has climbed by 86%. And the future of the Chinese agricultural sector doesn't seem very bright either. Chinese economy itself is in tatters owing to the US-China trade wars, a flight of companies away from China, and shrinking world trade. China has claimed a magical rebound bolstered by a 3.2% GDP growth in the second quarter of the ongoing financial year. But here's the real thing. There are no magical rebounds in economic growth, and China's numbers are anyhow unreliable. There are clear signs of the Chinese economy shrinking further from the 6.8% dip in the April quarter. Therefore, when central China was hit by massive floods, mainstream cities like Wuhan were at the threat of getting submerged. Already facing an economic downturn, Xi Jinping decided to sacrifice villages for the sake of saving big cities. In the process, CCP ended up ravaging China's farmlands with ferocious floods. This decision has proved to be Xi Jinping's Smash Sparrow campaign moment. Rural China had always been dependent on grains for their food. But in 1958, the People's Republic of China's founding father, Mao Zedong, had issued a strange diktat asking the people of his country to kill all of China's sparrows. The move had backfired as Chinese agriculture was hit by uncontrollable insect infestations. Famines and starvation had followed in China, in which over 50 million people died, and the CCP regime started encouraging the public of China to somehow survive by eating anything that moves. Xi Jinping has taken a lot more upon himself than he can manage, including the imposition of 80% import tariffs on Australian barley and a ban on meat imports from 4 Australian abattoirs. Cutting down Australia's imports are bound to aggravate China's food shortage woes even further. Xi Jinping's reckless actions have gotten him very close to being China's next Mao Zedong, but in all the wrong ways. Flooding of villages and security disputes with agricultural import sources are pushing China into a crippling food crisis. China's latest farm wars prove how communism can plunge any nation into a crisis, from the oil-rich Venezuela to an export giant like China.
That looks just peachy, doesn't it? Reminded me of being at home with my mother slapping me up the back of the head saying, "Eat that." But they are in a world of hurt. I read a news article a couple of days ago where there's a semi tipped over on a highway and it had frozen pork in it, and basically a mob of people descended on it and ripped the doors off the back of the trailer, and the pork was all stolen. It was amazing. I just can't believe that they're reduced to that in China. Yeah, we're in the same boat with wastage, Brad, but mostly we're growing it here. So anyway, it's not alone. But I think they're going to be in a world of hurt just to get food in the coming weeks. So here's something that's of interest. Up until recently, Warren Buffett was absolutely adamant that nobody needed to buy any gold. It didn't do anything, so it was something that you didn't buy. But now, guess what? Now Warren Buffett is buying shares in gold mines. So he's going out of his way to do an about turn. He's dumping all his bank shares and buying gold miner shares. Just a bit more of an update on the Perth Mint. They have retained their accreditation after their audit, the LBMA accreditation, and that's really important because Perth Mint is the biggest gold refinery in the world. A lot of jobs over there, a lot of gold coming out of there. It's quite interesting. Now, here's why that's important. All of that information we've just talked about is because gold is the currency of last resort. And when all these troubles happen, that's what people flock to. The US dollar is no longer the currency of last resort. So be aware, don't be afraid. We got gold, baby. The safe haven demand for gold has been rising while there is none for the US dollar anymore. That came out of a newspaper article last week. Our carrot bars system is perfectly suited to help us maintain our buying power in this collapsing financial environment. Again, be aware, not afraid. We got gold, baby. And here we go. I love this slide. Don't panic, Jonesy, because we got gold every time. And here's what the price of gold is doing. You can have a look at it. Downloaded this today. 22.03% annual yield. 22.03%. Go and ask your bank manager if he can set you up with an account to get 22% return on it. Watch this space for the breakout because it's happening right now. Make sure you understand what doing those simple things that we've talked about tonight. Make sure that you understand the value of a 90-day program. Brad saying, don't know what someone would now need to do to lose their LBMA certification. Yeah, good question, Brad. Pretty interesting when you read the history of the Perth Mint series. Get this out there, fill the forms out. It means you'll be able to build a business and get paid a truckload more money than you are today. It's simple. Set your goals, print out the form, fill it out. Contact as many people a day as you can. I know that's not as easy as it sounds, but you know what? We did that when we started. Download the form. You can get it off the Gold Rocks team Facebook group. Download it, fill it out, and send it to your upline team builder. Make sure they know what you're trying to do because you might need to get help. Make sure that you understand you can change this. You can change where you are today. Date claimers, don't forget Saturday the 31st of October, send Carolyn an email, cwphillips007@gmail.com. Sunday, that's this coming Sunday, we'll be at the Gold Coast. Now, all of this is dependent on meeting restrictions. Let's be real about this. We have a COVID plan in place now when we have a meeting. We make sure that everything is wiped, etc., etc. If you feel sick, you're unwell, please don't come to the meeting. Just be on the safe side. I've got a few people that I know that have been tested for COVID. All have come back negative, but they went through the process anyway. So is there any more questions that we've got on the board? Now let me see. Stephen, we'll come back. I've got a solution for you for your bank account. We'll talk with Roger and we'll get that done for you. Thanks, Brent. And Mr. Saravalli, you know I don't like Brussels sprouts, mate. That ain't going to happen. No more questions tonight. Roger has actually sorted it. Good. Okay. No more news on the V999, not yet. we're waiting on that. Did I hear you say there's a blowout in gold delivery? Phil, some of the people are getting it through right quick. It's going along okay, but we want it to get back to a much more realistic number of a couple of weeks before they ship them. We're hammering them pretty hard about getting that done. Brad Seravalli, platform? What platform? Which platform? On the on the platform V999 coins, etc. Yes. We haven't heard about the V999 wallet yet, Brad. They're peddling really hard to try and get this wallet going so we can get paid and we can do something with it. I suspect it will go into the back office as soon as that's done. It didn't fill me with a whole lot of faith when I saw Harold sitting with his IT guru and it was an Indian immigrant, and they're about 3 or 4 weeks late with their promised delivery date. So we need to just hammer them to get that done. Then we'll work on the V999. We've asked for a lot of explanations this week, so we'll see where that comes from. Thanks, everybody. No more questions by the look of it. Crypto robotics, nothing's happening there yet, Brad, till they get this wallet won't get paid. Okay. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned something, and we hope that you have a golden night.